Focused and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of July 12, Friday. I'm Riza Diaz. We'll start off today's rush with the cleansing at the Customs Bureau. Heads rolled at the agency as major drug shipments slip past the BOC despite the campaign against illegal drugs. Maricel Halili has the story.
Months after the alleged failure of the Bureau of Customs to prevent a billion-peso shabu shipment from entering the country, President Rodrigo Duterte announced that he will relieve at least 64 employees of the agency.
They're also hearing us. It's a simple case of you resign or I file charges. And that goes for all of us. We are workers of government and we serve the people, period.
At the GOCC Day in Malacanang, the president said cases against these customs employees were compiled throughout the years and not just after recent issues with illegal shipments.
I will relieve them of their duties.
Okay.
As yet, they are not ousted or dismissed because of the right to be heard. But tinatanggal ko na sila sa trabaho nila ngayon to prevent further damage sa government interest.
The chief executive even plans to personally speak to the customs employees on Monday.
My views is that help me craft a new implementing rules of how not to rob a country properly.
Malacanang has repeatedly said that fighting corruption is among the priorities of this administration.
I would have cut down corruption by a third or one half.
Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo earlier said that Customs Commissioner Leonardo Guerrero still enjoys the trust and confidence of the president. For News 5, Maricel Halili, we are One News.
Presidential son Paulo Duterte says the House speakership bid is far from over as he is hinting on a possible coup on the opening of the 18th Congress. But for President Duterte, that's nothing but wishful thinking. Zoni Esguerra will tell us more.
Leyte Congressman Martin Romualdez rallies lawmakers to support President Duterte's candidate for the House Speaker post, Taguig President Alan Peter Cayetano. In his speech, Romualdez said he has withdrawn his speakership bid and will stick to the President's endorsement for Majority Leader.
We shall work together, we shall pray together, so that once the 18th Congress opens, we shall hit the ground running with your leadership, Speaker.
As early as now, Cayetano is proposing that the term of committee chairman post not be split.
On the other hand, nakikiusap ako, let's make it the least disruptive in terms of internally. So kung pwede lang, ang magpapalit lang after 15 months, Speaker and Chairman ng Committee on Accounts. Kung pwede lahat ng iba, wala nang palitan para one family na lang
Davao City Representative Paulo Duterte, however, said it is too early to talk about the committee chairmanship. In a text message sent to the press, Paulo Duterte said the speakership bid will still go through a vote on July 22, and that there are talks that some lawmakers are planning to stage a coup d'etat. President Duterte, meanwhile, said he is confident that his endorsement will push through in Congress. When asked about his thoughts on the rumored coup attempt revealed by his son Paulo Duterte, this is what President had to say.
Have you heard of wishful thinking?
For News 5, Sonia Reyes Esguerra, we are One News.
It's settled. The UN Human Rights Council is pushing through with its probe on alleged extrajudicial killings amid the government's war on drugs. The Philippines' position? Nope, we won't have it. Del De Vera has the report.
After calls from various countries and other international groups, the United Nations Human Rights Council has voted in favor of an Iceland-led resolution that's seeking an investigation into alleged extrajudicial killings in the Philippine drug war. The 47-member council had 18 countries in favor, 14 against, and 15 abstentions in adopting the resolution urging the country to prevent judicial killings and enforce disappearances. Among those who voted against was China. The decision also urges the Philippines to carry out impartial investigations and to hold perpetrators accountable in accordance with international norms and standards on due process and the rule of law.
This council session, the High Commissioner Bachelet noted the extraordinarily high number of reported deaths and persistent reports of extrajudicial killings in the context of the campaign against drug use. In the past 3 years, Special Rapporteur mandate holders have issued 33 statements on the Philippines. 33. Most recently, 11 Special Rapporteurs jointly called for an independent investigation into the human rights violations in the Philippines, citing a sharp deterioration in the situation across the country.
The council also instructed UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Michelle Bachelet to prepare a report on her findings after a year. The Philippines, meanwhile, rejected the resolution, with Ambassador to the UN Evan Garcia speaking on behalf of Foreign Affairs Secretary Teddy Locsin. Garcia maintains there is no basis for the planned probe and that figures being cited to support the proposal are merely made up.
The Philippines rejects this resolution. It cannot in good conscience abide by it. We will not accept a politically partisan and one-sided resolution so detached from the truth on the ground. It comes straight from the mouth of the Queen in Alice in Wonderland. First the judgment, then the proof.
Garcia, however, says the country will still continue working with the council to enlighten them on the matter.
The temptation is strong to walk away, but the Philippines must remain true to the cause of human rights. We will continue to work with the Council to advance a noble mandate to respect, protect, and fulfill human rights and rescue it from misuse.
President Duterte says he wants to look into the council's purpose in lodging the investigation. Palace has since insisted that any foreign-led probe on the Duterte administration's national policies may be considered interference.
Let them state their purpose, and I will review.
Duterte adds that if all the council wants is controversy, then they can just go to the media.
Taglang sila sa intriga, they better go to the media, and the media will tell them the truth. Palabas ninyo yung footages ninyo lahat.
For News 5, Dale De Vera, we are One News.
Here are the biggest stories from the dailies. Filipino Star ngayon reports that the second suicide bomber from the attack at Indanan, Sulu may also be a Filipino. PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde says there is a possibility, but it remains at that until a DNA test is conducted. The problem is no family or relatives have yet to come forward to claim the body. Authorities identified the first suicide bomber as Norman Lusaka, who was reportedly a member of the Abu Sayyaf. The bombing at the Indanan killed 8 and injured at least 20 others. Now, despite the ongoing war on drugs, the Philippines jumped 3 places in the World Peace Index. The Philippine Star reports that our country now ranks 134th out of 163 countries for this year's Global Peace Index conducted by the Institute for Economics and Peace in Sydney. Iceland remains the most peaceful country in the world, while war-torn Afghanistan is now the bottom feeder, a position that Syria previously held in 2018. And this from the Free Man. Nearly 300 modern PUVs are set to ply the streets of Cebu today. That's after the LTFRB in Central Visayas has granted these vehicles provisional authority to operate for the entire region. Now, among these, 23 point-to-point buses will be serving the routes from Cebu City to Sibonga, Lapu-Lapu City, and Danao City. There will also be 25 electronic jeepneys within the Lapu-Lapu City loop. Water at the Angat Dam is now back at below critical level after briefly replenishing supply earlier this month due to continued rain showers. But even if rainy weather is expected to resume next week, water officials say they will still retain the 36 cubic meters per second allocation for Metro Manila. Bim Santos has the report.
Water level at the Angat Dam again dipped to critical level due to lack of rainwater.
We're expecting kasi below and near normal rainfall for the Angat watershed. So Kung patuloy na mararanasan yung ganong pag-ulan, so makakatulong ito sa maisaayos yung level ng anggat. Meron na po tayong habagat pero dahil hindi po siya ganun kalakasan, so hindi pa po siya nagbigay ng malakas na pag-ulan. Ngayon, kung lumukas na po yung habagat, we are expecting more rains po.
The current allocation for domestic water use remains at 36 cubic meters per second, which is still below the usual 48 CMS allocation that Manila Water and Maynilad receive. Because of this, the service coverage of the two water concessionaires remain below normal, with some areas still experiencing interruptions and low water pressure. The National Water Resources Board says they plan to maintain the 36 CMS allocation for July, even if the rains resume next week.
Sa tingin po natin kung next week, sa tingin natin kahit may mga pag-ulan, titingnan po natin kung gaano siya kataas. Kasi hinahabol ho natin is maabot sana yung 180 na minimum operating level. No? Kailangan ma-recover siya sufficiently para makita natin yung mga future requirements, not only this July. Kaya po, kung may babalik natin sa normal agad, hindi pa titignan natin ay yung mga developments, itong mga pag-ulan sa susunod na mga linggo or mga even up to August bago natin makita kung ano yung karampatang adjustment.
Meanwhile, Maynilad has accepted the financial penalty imposed by MWSS. In a statement, Maynilad says they will comply out of good faith even as they continue service improvements. 1,841 accounts will receive the rebate. Maynilad says they will conduct a roadshow in the area to explain the rebate mechanics. Bim Santos, We Are One News.
Kalba lang atin to. That's the main sentiment from the camp of fighting Senator Manny Pacquiao as they dismiss fears on the Filipino boxing icon's state of health ahead of his fight with Keith Thurman. Mark Zambrano has the story.
With his fight day against Keith Thurman barely 10 days away, Manny Pacquiao took to the boxing ring once again to prove that his physical condition is near perfect. The welterweight champion showed extreme speed in his mid-session with assistant trainer Freddie Roach at the historic Wildcard Gym here in Los Angeles, California. Head trainer Buboy Fernandez was quick to put to rest all fears about the health of the 8th Division World Champion, saying that the 2 to 3 breaks in a week was his decision.
Dinagdagan ko yung day off niya kasi hindi natin pwedeng i-recover within 24 hours lang eh. Itong laban na to, maganda to. Kung ano man yung mga lindol na nararamdaman dito sa Los Angeles, ganun kalakas ang suntok ni Pacquiao kaya lumilindol.
And the secret behind the People's Champ continued defiance of Father Time.
His work ethic alone, I mean, just he works really hard and he's continuously staying in shape. I mean, he never lets his body get out of shape, and it makes it a lot easier on himself.
You never see Ali, you'll never see Tyson, and you'll never ever see a Pacquiao again. That's it. They're historical figures in this sport. You won't see him again.
Aside from his speed and strength, the 40-year-old's youthful ferocity has seemingly returned, surprising his coaches.
Dati medyo alala lang siya sa mga training. Ngayon, lalo na sa sparring. Ngayon, parang sinasaktan niya talaga yung mga ka-sparring partners niya. At hindi talaga siya papawat sa training.
Pero may iba rin daw driving force sa masigasig na training ng pambansang kamao. The disrespectful statements coming from his trash-talking opponent.
Yung mga sinasabi niya sa akin na it's not helping him, it's helping me because it gave me more motivation, determination to focus the training camp and to focus the fight.
Even at the age of 40, Manny Pacquiao proved that he still has enough of that Pac-Man magic to draw the biggest of crowds. And on July 20, he's going to try to defy Father Time once again when he goes up against Keith Thurman in Las Vegas. Mark Zambrano, One News.
And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.